Good morning from the not so sunny Rancho Mirage, Southern California. We are expecting rain. As you can see, the clouds coming in over from the mountains. I wanted to bring you the market update report for October 2023 for East Dallas. I've been doing this now for over 7 years and haven't missed the opportunity to do that. And while we're enjoying some time out here in typically sunny Southern California, I wanted to bring you the October report. So we're going to go back in the house. We are still having furniture delivered. We've ordered it, but supply chain issues, things are weeks and months out. So we're living like frat boys right now in a minimally occupied property. So it is what it is. But we're going to go in here. I'm going to do the best I can. I don't have my usual setup that I normally do with the lighting and all that. That'll be coming in the next few months as we bring some of that out here to Rancho Mirage. So we're going to sit here in the office right now. I am going to, sorry about that. I am going to read stats from my laptop here. So again, I apologize. It's a little bit more casual than normal, but it gets the point across. And you know, if you have questions about what's going on in the market, because the market is, it's been crazy for several years. It continues to be crazy. There's a lot happening in real estate. So if you've got questions about what's happening in the real estate market in East Dallas, you know, give me a call. Text me, let me know, and we can get some answers for you, whether it be me or one of my associates. We're gonna be there to take care of you for your real estate needs. So as I said, this is Alan. I'm bringing you the East Dallas market report for October 2023. We are, you know, going to go through some stats here, so just bear with me. As I always say, if you're thinking about buying or selling residential real estate, it's important that you understand the current market trends. I use NetRisk, which is our local MLS. That's NTREIS. NetRisk is our local MLS. And we're looking back at residential properties. So this doesn't include condos or commercial. This is just residential properties for sale in October of 2023. We're always looking back the prior month. The stats come out usually the 1st of November for October. This is also comparing the same period, so October of 2023 compared to October of 2022. So the number of sold listings decreased by, let's see here if I can get this a little closer. It decreased by 9.4% to 117 units, with the top sale of $2,799,000 at 7137 Westlake Avenue. The average sale price decreased 2.1% to $843,657, moving the average price per square foot down 2.6% to $345 per square foot. So if you've been following me, we've noticed that last month the numbers were slightly up. This month they're slightly down. So we've been in that mode for oh gosh, almost a year now. So I do see the market flattening out, leveling off. And you may read articles in the Dallas Morning News or local that says the Dallas market is down about 3% from a year ago. And you have to realize that is a huge 20-something county market that NetRisk follows. And so that's a multi-county wide number. I'm looking more closely at the East Dallas, Lakewood East Dallas market. The average, let's see here. So I've covered the price per foot. The inventory of properties available for sale measured in month supply increased by 47.6% to 2.1 months worth of properties for sale. Yeah, again, if you've been listening to me, we know 6 months is a balanced market. So 2.1 months, that is still really low. Mortgage rates increased with the 30-year fixed rate average near 7.76%, according to mortgage rate source Freddie Mac for the month of October, which is a 20-year high. Now, again, I pulled these stats about a week ago, about 7 days ago, 9 days ago, and we were at 7.76%. Well, anybody that followed, the Fed chose not to raise rates this month. They let them stay where they were, the Fed fund rate, and therefore interest rates actually fell like about a 1/4%. So 25 basis points, or 1/4%, which is a big drop in a short period of time. But that doesn't mean, listening to some of the economists, real estate economists that I listen to and reading, Freddie Mac, following the chief economist there, it doesn't mean that they see this long-term interest rates continuing to fall. So we're not going to be back in a sub 5 market or a sub 4 market. It may take us years, decades to get back down to that again. Unless there's something catastrophic that happens in the economy. So in the coming months, it's important that you understand this information. Let me see here. No, I want to go back. No, yep, we're going to go forward. We'll go forward here. Let me just read some of the notes I've made. So the 30-year fixed rate mortgage paused its multi-week climb, but continues to hover somewhere between about 7.5% to just a little under 8%. This is what Sam Cater, that is the chief economist at Freddie Mac, that's what he was, some of his comments that he made a week ago. I like following him. I think he gives a really good overall idea of what's going on in the market. So I like to see what he has to say. He also went on to say that coupled with the geopolitical uncertainty, this ambiguity around monetary policy, that is, what are the Feds going to do with interest rates? Are they going to, what's going on with inflation? Inflation looks like it's continuing to moderate again. Is it where the Feds want it to be at around 2%? No, I think what I read recently is 3.2%, so it's still a little high, but that's the monetary policy that they're talking about here. He goes on to say, well, this uncertainty, ambiguity will likely have an impact on the overall economic landscape and may continue to stall improvements in the housing market. So let's look at this, unbundle this statement that he's made. And if you're a seller, if you are a homeowner and you are at a sub 5 interest rate, many people that bought over the past 4 or 5 years are going to be, upper 2s, 3s, 4%. Why would you sell? Why would you give up that incredible rate if you don't have to? And that's what we're seeing. Sellers are staying put, unless they're like me and Scott, where we decided we wanted to have another home, and so we sold our bigger home and took that money, and it afforded us the ability to buy a home here in Rancho Mirage. So there are people of certain ages or certain decisions that they make that they sell their home and they want to move. Others are, there's death, there's divorce, job changes. Those are things that are precipitating some sellers to force them to sell, have to sell. But there's not enough of those out there. Builders are trying to take up the slack. But again, there's not a lot of new construction in the East Dallas market. So then let's look at the buyer side. So buyers, I have clients that started looking a year ago or thinking about it, and interest rates were in the 6s, and they qualified at say $850,000. Well, now rates are almost not quite 2% more. They don't qualify for $850,000. They're now qualifying for $650,000. So that's not, buyers are going to have to readjust. Well, we can't afford a 3,000 square foot home or 2,500 square foot home. Are we willing to move into 1,800 square feet, which is in our budget now? And we're seeing some creative, there are some creative approaches. Getting the seller to kick in multi-thousands of dollars. I had a seller last year that contributed. We negotiated, I don't remember, $15,000, $20,000 in contributions, and that allowed my clients to do a 2-1 buy down. So instead of being at 7%, they started at 5%, and then they went to 6%, and then they're going to cap out years 3 through 30 at 7%. So that gives people the ability to do that. And then if interest rates drop back down to a rate that's more reasonable for them in the 5s, then they can always refinance that. So that's going to be back in favor again when rates come back down. But what I'm hearing is that rates probably are not going to decrease back into the below sixes probably until at least 2024 and possibly 2025. But that does give a reason to buy now and refinance. So buyers are kind of sitting on the sidelines too, trying to figure out what they're going to do as far as with interest rates. Some of them are concerned with the higher rates, or they're scared or worried about that. Others is it's pushed their budgets into a lower square footage, and they're just not willing to make that decision. So and plus, there's not a lot of inventory out there. We just said there's a 2.1 month supply of inventory. So sometimes my clients have started looking a year in advance. There's just not a lot out there, and they're needing the time to find the right home. Okay, so pending and sold listings hit their highest point. We've hit this topic a couple of times over the past few months. The pending and sold listings hit their highest point in June of last year, but have been consistently decreasing on a year-over-year basis. And the list to sold price ratio has continued to experience a noticeable decline from the peaks that we saw in spring of 2022. Remember, they were well above 100%. So every time anything that's above 100%, that meant typically we were in multiple offer situations, which drove the bids up above the ask price, and therefore the list to sold price ratios were above 100%. Now they're down in the 95, 96, 97%. So that means we're not more than likely getting multiple offers, but you're still getting people that if the home's in great condition, they're making a strong, solid offer that first week, that first day sometimes, and they're coming in at full price. Doesn't mean that they're going in over full price though, but they're going in at full price. But again, that has to be the perfect home, move-in ready, no issues. And unfortunately, what I'm seeing on the market, there's a lot of homes that are just on the market that the agent just threw the house on the market. They did a no staging, little staging, didn't do prep. There's all sorts of ways. I have a concierge group that can come in and help people get their house ready. We can finance that so that it's paid at closing to help with painting needs and some update needs. So I did that recently this spring on a house over in East Dallas. So there's options out there. And this leads into my final point here is discerning buyers are displaying a reluctance to invest in overpriced or average condition homes. In contrast, homes that are realistically priced and market ready are demonstrating a healthy sales activity. Guys, I've been saying this now for almost a year, and that has held true month after month. And that is what I'm hearing from my real estate agent friends in the market. They're listings that are premier, multiple offers, or high, or well 100% of list price offer that comes in versus those that are kind of marginal. So if you're thinking about buying or selling residential real estate now or in the near future, it's important that you seek the guidance of an expert local realtor. We'd love to help you with any of your questions. We'd love to help you buying or selling. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next real estate market update. Take care. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving.